So, I think I've mentioned once or twice before that I am a total ditz. Or if I didn't mention it, you probably at least have realized this from what I say, what I do, all this kind of stuff. I've always known that I've been a ditz, but until recently, I, well, it didn't really come into full impact, I guess would be the right term, maybe. I don't know. So, for example, like 2, 3 weeks ago, I went into the doctor's office and I was filling out the paperwork and stuff. And then the receptionist, or not the receptionist, like the CMA, the first person that comes in before the doctor, came in and asked for the paperwork. So I handed the paperwork back like this. Like, why would you ever hand someone that? Why would you ever say, oh, okay, here you go? I went, oh, okay, here you go, and handed them the paperwork like that, like a freaking claw. Like, ridiculous. So that was awkward. And then I, of course, make it more awkward by saying, oh, well, aren't I awkward? Silence. Yeah, I am awkward. So it's cool that I pointed out. Yeah. So there was that. And then during like the whole doctor's visit, they were asking me about my like family history and stuff, and I told them that my mom had a vasectomy. A vasectomy. Women don't get vasectomies. If you don't know that word, look it up. So the doctor looked at me like I was a freak. So that was cool. And then later in the week, or earlier this week, I think I realized where I get my ditziness from. Like, I knew that both of my parents were kind of ditzy. I mean, they're awesome, but they're kind of ditzy. Anyways, I was trying to call my dad earlier this week because it's American Thanksgiving on Thursday, and I wanted to see what we were doing and, whatnot. So I tried to call him, and then he didn't answer the phone, and he didn't call back. My parents always call back. Both of my parents always call back within an hour or two if they see that it's me. So I knew that if he didn't call back within an hour or two, that there was something wrong. So 3 hours later, I was freaking out. And I was like, oh my gosh, what's wrong? And so I called my mom, and my mom called our next door neighbors and trying to figure out what was wrong. My next door neighbor went over and checked on my dad, and he had washed his cell phone in the washing machine. He forgot to take it out of his pants, and he washed it in the washing machine, because that's what normal people do. So I started cracking up because I'm like, well, there you go. That's where I get it from. There's my dad. So anyways, the end of the story. I wanted to go bring him a new cell phone because I knew he couldn't afford to buy a new one because cell phones are freaking expensive, like $300 for shit you don't need. Come on. Anyways, so I went to go buy him bring him one of my old cell phones. So I got the cell phone and I got the charger and I put it all in the box and all this kind of stuff. I drove it all the way over to his house and I handed it to him, and I realized that I had brought the wrong charger. So I went all the way out of my way to realize that I was completely ditzy enough to not check before and bring him the wrong charger. So that's fantastic. And meanwhile, he has no way to call me. I have no way to call him either, so that's kind of annoying. So then, yeah. So basically, ditz to ditz. Like, that's obviously where I get it from. Duh. I have no hope. No hope. Ah! Oh well. At least, being a ditz, you get some good stories. You get to tell people about how you're the awkward one. You know how in TV shows there's always that like awkward one, like in The Office or New Girl, where you're just sitting there and you're like, Why are they doing that? This is so embarrassing. Stop, stop, stop. Don't say anymore. You're digging yourself into a hole. That's me. Woo! I'm that person. Yay! Woo! Party! All right. So, just a little insight into me. All right. See you guys in a week. Bye.